Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, being my guide for God Hand on Hard difficulty. Today we're doing stage 6-8, entitled Elvis's Wish. This one's a bit lengthier than, I guess you could say your normal one, but it's not tragically hard, thankfully, even though it's got one set demon spawn, which is going to be, of course, the samurai demon spawn. So, yeah, we have to deal with that pretty much after we deal with these enemies here. And, of course, as you saw right in the beginning, I throw a box and get only one enemy to aggro, so I don't have to fight both at the same time, that kind of thing. I wouldn't recommend taunting at first. I wouldn't recommend taunting unless you know specifically where you can get away with a taunt at, because I don't want to activate both at the same time. Now, I mean, of course, I technically probably could, but fighting two elites at once, has shown, especially back in the past, never really that fun to do sometimes, especially back in stage 1-6, was it? 1-4, Mr. Gold, Mr. Silver fight. Ugh, that one is just, I still struggle with that even today. Even after beating God Hand on Hard twice now, it's every time I go back to play this game on hard, I get to Mr. Gold, Mr. Silver, and the next thing I know, it's I can't do this anymore. They're definitely a skill check. There's no doubt about it. That boss fight is an absolutely insane skill check, no doubt, through and through. Anyway, so yeah, I just take out, the Amazon chicks one by one. That's what they look like. I don't know. That's what they're big, tall, and muscly. They seem to be. Yeah, well, either way. So now we got to deal with this asswipe, and as soon as he gets close, because he likes to do that dashing attack every single time that he's too far away. It's just a ranged motion thing that he likes to do. I could have done this without God Hand, but I was too scared and panicky, and yeah, you can't blame me for that. These guys tend to be kind of scary. I mean, they got a bit of health, they're a bit tanky, and they're kind of a little annoying. Even though I do have some orbs, I would still recommend that you save as many orbs as you possibly can, because the next fight's the Shannon fight, the Shannon revealed fight. But unfortunately to Shannon, she's still unfortunately one of the easiest divas to beat up. Just saying, she's still one of the easier bosses to take down. It's ridiculous how mind-numbing they've made pretty much all of her fights. I feel bad for her, you know what I mean? Because, Elvis has really tight attacks. You have to know how to dodge his really tight attacks. I was going to make a really bad joke, too, but this is hardcore, and we're professional here. We don't make nasty, gross, bad jokes. No. That's a Turd Monkey 49.7 joke to make. That's not a hardcore. No. Not at all. Alright, so basically this level also is kind of a half... It's a half puzzle fight and all that stuff. I kept the samurai sword. I threw it out so that way I can use it against... Was it Tiger Joe that shows up? There's an elite at the very end here, and either I use it on him or I use the sword. I don't think I use the sword on him. I'm pretty sure I use the sword on these enemies that are coming up soon. But you can use the sword on the button if you really wish. However, I really wouldn't recommend it. I would just say, just use the sword primarily on the enemies. Just keep it for that. I mean, again, unless you're... Which goes without saying, because, I mean, at this point, if you're watching me, and you kind of already you already have the confidence to take on these guys. Honestly, at this point, you don't really need me for anything particular until maybe a few chapters in. Maybe starting stage 7, I would probably say is yeah, I can at least give a bit more advice there. But for the rest of stage 6, you guys don't need my help for this. If you made it this far and well, you're oh, I can handle a few groups of guys or whatever. That's at that point, I'm just here for entertainment, right? But either way, I mean, hey, you never know. I can help somebody. Who knows? That's also what I'm here for. I'm not gonna just not give advice because I can play it well. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. My only tip is, I just like to use the sword on these guys. I like to save it for these enemies first. And then, of course, because we have to fight 3 guys at once, I like to do the classic old-fashioned, kick them off, which I should talk about that real quick, though. kicking them off has a chance to knock them, I think, like too far away to where they can actually fall off that fence and completely die. So if you'd rather try to get items to spawn for them, I'd say just go for the regular punching instead of going for a kick. So that way, don't go for like a knockback move. Just go for something that's just like a basic punch combo thing or whatever. That way they fall down and they take a bit more damage. Because if you go for a kick, there's a chance that you might knock them off the fence completely. But, you know, at this point, like, I have full health. I have full God Hand. The only thing I can really get from that is orbs. That's like the only thing I can think of. Now, this sword is a set spawn. From all my playthroughs, I've always had it kind of spawn in, so. And that's why we're going to bring it with us. So we can use it on the big elite. That's going to be at the very end of this little runway section here, because he is quite tanky, and I hate having to fight him. Granted, I mean, I forget exactly if I use square or whatever. I hope yeah, okay, good boy. Good boy, you thought about that way before I even asked about it. But I'm so glad I was smart enough to just go for the X throw instead. Not gonna lie, that was actually quite smart on me. Well, at least I think it was. I mean, somebody might not think so, but why do I keep caring about that? Just shut up and do your commentary. God damn. You're making everyone else feel depressed. Stop being a whiner. But either way, what I'm doing right now is, again, you know, pretty obvious. Just run back, grab more weapons if you haven't used them yet, and throw it at this guy. Pretty much just maximizing my damage, so I don't have to rely on using God Hand, because once again, coming up, we have the end of Stage 6, which is, of course, going to be the Shannon fight, and once again, obviously, I think it's pretty easy. So there's that uppercut move I've mentioned a couple times that you can back dodge from, but I still would recommend just going for a side dodge. I feel like there's a lot of time where I just end up kind of potentially getting screwed and get hit by it. Now, I know I really shouldn't have done this. I really should not have just gone with a God Hand, but at this point, I just wanted to make sure that I was safe. I forgot that I did, not gonna lie. But once again, like I said, the boss Shannon is not that bad. And if you got orbs, then just use Chain Anchor and you'll be alright. And that's pretty much everybody. That's all you have to fight. Oh, please tell me I went back and got that strawberry. Why did you leave it? Actually, come to think of it, I think I ran all the way over here, and then I ran back and I grabbed the strawberry like an idiot. I mean, technically speaking, I don't need the money, because I guess I was thinking for some reason, like, oh, more enemies are going to spawn, right? Like, I have to deal with more enemies, right? And it's like, no. You're pretty much good to go. I think I did lose the strawberry. I did. Holy hell. That banana, I think, is a set spawn as well. And anyway, oops, forgot a little money, but that's okay. Anyway, let's see you guys for the Shannon fight. So, take care, everybody.